What is going on YouTube? FBBM Guapo back at it with our last character breakdown of the current version of version 2, the demo version. We got Jaguar here, and we're gonna get right into his buttons now. We got his jab. He's got very small buttons here. Right, it doesn't really go that far. We have forward punch, forward X, forward 3 is double punch here. Doesn't do a lot of damage. He can cancel it into a jump, which is really good. So you can kind of go like, so it's very good during like punch or during his pressures. You can go jab, jab, forward punch, jump, and then you can go into his aerials. Up punch is his kind of like leap. He leaps overhead. So it's pretty good. It can cross up if you do it from the front. Certain characters you can kind of go right over him. It's not always the case here. But you can also jump out of this too. So I can go for the leap, then jump to cross up. Or I can just cancel it right away into like a bigger jump. Boom. And I can do an aerial out of it. Again, gives him a lot of mobility and some mix-ups off of it. So, and it's also a good combo extender too. So it's great for juggles. Back punch here. We got this little chop. If you press it again, or excuse me, if it hits, it goes into a second attack. And if not, it just goes into one chopping motion. Boom, boom. Not that great. Wouldn't recommend using it. I would definitely go forward X for that. Or up X for juggles. Now we have down punch. This he can jump out of too. This is good for block strings. You can hold away to kind of space away from yourself if they block, or you can kind of go in on them depending on how the DI. And then you can jump over it too, right, to cross them off. Right. Pretty good. But I would still go for his up punch or forward punch. But down punch is not that terrible. Now let's go to his kicks, right? So he's got his neutral kick. He's got 2 of them, right? So here's just one, pretty stubby. You do it again, he does a longer kick that's a little bit slower, but it's got better range. This is also good for juggles too. You can go right into your leap. You used to be able to jump out of it, but you cannot anymore. You used to do this and then do his jump kick and get launches off of that. It used to be really good. It's been heavily nerfed in this version. We're going to go to his forward kick, which is his knee. This move actually launches them quite far. Bang, right? This is good for combo extenders, combo enders. Also good if they're near the corner. Or near the barrier. You can just knee them right into the barrier. They get launched, and then you can continue the combo from there. Even if they block it here, right? You go for a forward kick, and it's just a lot of block stun, and it pushes them fairly far back too. So it's good to kind of end your block strings with as well to kind of push them away from you. Now we're gonna go to his up kick. Good during juggles. It is kind of slow though. You can't cancel anything, but it is kind of good when they're by the barrier. You can combo in the jab if you can, right? So you can go boom, and then kind of get a juggle or try to get a juggle off of that as well. It's decent. Back kick. This is a launcher here. It's not that great, to be honest. It's pretty unsafe, but it is good to catch people jumping in, so it does have a use there. Now we have his down kick, his stomp. Pretty weak stomp. It's pretty slow. Does okay damage, but definitely, it's definitely not his best attack. Now we have his fierce attacks. Okay, so we have like his little falcon punch. Does a lot of damage. It is really slow. You can kind of spin around with it, which is cool. It used to be a really good combo ender at the end of version 1, but because of how the combo system has changed, it's not as viable as a combo ender. It's really good off of a barrier bounce if you can time it right, but it is a high risk, high reward move. Definitely would not recommend just doing it in neutral. Forward circle. This move is pretty cool. This is kind of like Raptor Boost, right? You can jump out of it. You can block out of it. You can crouch block out of it. You can jab. Do kick. You can do directionals. So, whoops, excuse me. If you press the fierce button again, you'll get this little punch, right? And it can launch them, go into a combo. Off that, this is really good during juggles. And it's also a good way to get your normals out a little bit quicker, especially your slower normals. So it's good. It's a good way to kind of string your normals and directionals better. If you press up fierce, you actually do a swipe. It's a little slap here. It actually flips them. Whoops. So, up fierce is kind of like a B slap. Flips them around there. Boom. Boom. You can do it after boost as well, if I can time it right. Boom. You can kind of do that too. Back fierce. He's got this ground pound here. Right? So you can do that too. It's a good OTG. It's good to catch people who miss their tech. That's pretty much its only use. It does use a little bit of meter, unfortunately. So, I mean, he's not too meter hungry, so you can get away with it. But I definitely wouldn't recommend using that move all the time. And down fierce. He's got a little lunge forward. It's actually a pretty good move because you can jump out of it. Boom. You can jump and do like cross-ups out of it and stuff like that. It's actually great during juggles. It's also really good after throws as well. So I can just do it after a throw. Oops, I messed up. But you can like do it after throws. Boom. And you can get a juggle there. I'm dropping a lot of combos now. But yeah, it's a good launcher after throws. It's good to continue juggles out of, if that makes any sense. Alright. Now, let's go towards his special ability. Yeah, let's go over his special ability. So, he can actually get larger. So, makes his normals a little slower, but they are armored. They do a little bit more damage. His kick actually has super armor. And you can kind of just do it. And it's hard for your opponent to really do much. It does drain energy though, passively. So just be careful about that. Yeah, you're slow, but you have more armor. When you're small, you actually gain energy normally. You don't have your jab, or excuse me, you don't have your fierce attacks. It's just this move, or at least that's his neutral. He doesn't have Falcon Punch. He just has this windmill move. Alright. He's got this slap still. Still got all of his moves, but they don't really launch. Yeah, he doesn't really launch too much. It's hard for him to knock down. So this mode's pretty good during neutral. And then large Jet Jaguar is good for combos, but also not that good for neutral. Alright. So that's a special ability. It used to have a bigger part in his version 1 gameplay, especially during combos. And version 2 is a little bit different. It's a little bit faster paced, so being large especially is a liability for him. The only reason you'd want to use it is for like hard punishes with your kick. and during juggles. And then small jet Jaguar is good versus characters like Kiryu, who like to use missiles and stuff like that. You can kind of run around. And you're also a harder target to hit. But it's also harder for you to hit your target. And you're not going to launch people as far with your throws, right? So speaking of throws, let's go into Jet Jaguar's throws. So we have his neutral throw here. Pretty basic neutral throw. His square throw. He like kicks you. That's probably his main combo throw, right? It's his main combo throw. You can use it into your dash attack. Boom. Right? Launcher. Boom, 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 boom. Stuff like that, right? And then his circle throw is kind of like SMG's square throw, where he can kind of change the trajectory of where he goes. It's not as DI dependent as Kiryu. Like he doesn't have the range that Kiryu can go when he moves around during his throw. This is good when you're going towards the barrier. You can position yourself better, get a launcher out of it. I cannot combo with this character for anything today. Anyways, so there are throws. You're gonna thrive a lot with this character off of throws. That's where most of his combos start of. You can actually grab out of Raptor Beast as well. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, you can actually throw or grab out of Raptor Boost. So that's just a good mix-up that you have there as well. Dash attack. It's a pretty good anti-air. He just does this. It's like he like T-poses on you, and you can also cancel it into his down fierce. Very good during juggles, and it's also a good anti-air, and you can move while doing it. So you can kind of just run at people and do it, especially against Megalon and Kiryu, who like to be in the air, and Gigan as well. So his move is pretty good for that utility. Let's talk about his get-up attacks. His get-up attacks aren't that great. They have pretty small range. There's the one where he's laying down on his stomach. Here's the one where he's laying down on his back. Same thing, pretty stubby, pretty weak get-up attack. You just want to tech roll away. Let's talk about his beam. So his beam is getting a lot of changes in the upcoming patch, but currently now, it just changes color pretty much. I don't believe he has the hidden hitbox anymore, which is quite unfortunate, but he can't just cheese you anymore with that. So it used to have, when he fully charged his beam, it used to have like a hidden hitbox that if you just ran into it, it would just do a bunch of damage at once, and you would just take a whole bunch of hits done. It was super cheesy. He can kind of just do it. We called it the clap mine. He can't do that in this version, so that heavily nerfs his beam. He's not too meter hungry, so you can kind of spam beam. And, you know, it's not going to be too costly to your overall game plan. So let's talk about his strengths. So he has a lot of options. Let's just say that. He's got a pretty decent combo game. And he's got a good dash. He's good. He's pretty quick, right? He can run around pretty quick. No, he can cancel a lot of his moves. He's got great mobility, right? Great aerial mobility, especially. Jump 3 is great. Jump 1 is also good as well. It's great for combos. People's Elbow, jump circle is pretty good as well. Yeah, decent aerials. But yeah, he's got good mobility, good aerial mobility, good ground mobility. Pretty good throws. It's very easy for him to get throws because his throw is pretty quick compared to most of the characters, pretty much except Kiryu. It used to be much quicker in version 1, and it used to be much more BS, but it has been toned down a lot in this version. His weaknesses, though, I mean, he's got stubby normals. He doesn't do a lot of damage. His size mechanic doesn't give him too much variety in his gameplay. It's still relatively the same character. His playstyle doesn't switch. Alrighty, so my laptop just decided it wanted to restart randomly while I was recording the end of that video. So we're just going to pick up where we left off. So you see Megalon crouching there. Yeah, he doesn't want to hear the rest of this either. Jaguar, he's not that great of a character. It looks like he has a lot of options and mix-ups, but he actually doesn't because he doesn't have a consistent low to hit you with. All he has is grab, so he's got a very one-dimensional play style. The size change doesn't give him a lot of variety in his gameplay as much as you think it would. You know, if anything, being small is just a hindrance for him because now he has no launchers, right? All he can do is grab. So you kind of know what he's going to do. He's a very one-dimensional character. He doesn't have a lot of damage, or he doesn't do a lot of damage, excuse me. He's got very stubby normals, so he gets zoned out pretty easily. He doesn't have any anti-zoning options.